11:30 podcast. Hey, where you was when a nigga was where they was at, man? I was on my ass. You tell me. I was stuck in the tree, ain't nobody help me out. Ain't nobody help me down. Let's get going places that you never seen. You think I'm fucked up, boy, I'm living my dream. Just leave me alone if you're not with the team. My brain too smart to come up with a scheme. If I said it, then I meant it, and I know what I mean. Had me a vision, it was fucking with my dream.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on the wheels. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome back, you guys, to the 11:30 podcast. What's goody? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for another episode. You dig, man? How everybody doing? It's Wednesday. Hope everybody, day is going well, man. It's 11:30, so you know what time it is, man. It's time for a new episode of the 11:30 podcast, man. I appreciate everybody who's listening to me on EB Radio. Shout out to everybody, man, who's listening to me on EB Radio. And everybody, man, who's watching on YouTube. Appreciate it so much, man. For real. If you guys new to the channel, y'all already know what time it is, man. Hit that subscribe button down below. Smash the notification bell. Like it. Leave a comment, guys. Leave a comment so I'll shout you out and all that good stuff. Now share it so we can get the 11:30 podcast up and out there even more, you guys. And also, don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, I'm back here with another episode, man. It's going to be a dope one here this week, you guys. I got two guests, you guys, this week lined up for the books. First up, you guys, I got my first guest. She's from Miami, Florida, you guys. Her name is Glenneisha. She's an artist, you guys. She's a quadriplegia. I'm trying to get it right, you guys. Quadriplegia, mouth painter, you guys. Man, she got some dope art. She's going to be joining me here on the 11:30 podcast, you guys. Quadriplegia. Yes, quadriplegia mouth painting. That's how I said it. Trying to get it right. And also, you guys, coming up later on, I got my guy, Townsend. He's a podcaster, you guys. He's a staff member at NBC2. Man, he's going to be joining me here on the podcast. He's the host of the Aspie Files also. So that's going to be fun. He's coming up a little bit later on here on the show, you guys. But yeah, man, let's get into it. My first guest, Glenneisha. How's it going?
Pretty good. I can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How your day going?
Pretty good. Productive, very relaxing.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Once again, I appreciate you joining me here on the podcast. First and foremost, I found out about you because through a fellow podcaster on Instagram, and your awesome work on Instagram that you do, your mouth painter and everything. We're gonna get into all of that for the people, for my listeners and viewers who are joining me this week who are not familiar with you. You mind introducing yourself just a little bit, please?
So I'm Glenneisha or Glenny, either one. I am a mouth painter, quadriplegic. I am 29 years old. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I've been quadriplegic since 2010 from a very traumatic car accident. Going home from the Thanksgiving break for college, from college FAMU, and from there since then, it's been a journey. It's been a ride,
Okay. That I know you have turned everything from, that incident into, greatness now with everything you're painting and all that, because I see all the images and, everybody you paint. It is really, really cool. So we're going to get into that. Here on the podcast, you know how we do it each and every week, you guys. For Glenneisha here, she's joining me. We start off with the WTF moment, any crazy thing you may have seen or heard on the internet. But you guys, like I said, we're going to kick it off with the WTF moment of the week, and Glenneisha is my guest. You have a WTF moment of the week?
Like internet-wise or like
anything? Just anything.
Man, I'm not going to lie to you. I just found, from last night between Kirk Franklin and his son. That was a shocker for me. I guess they had family issues and whatnot, but to hear Kirk Franklin in that element, in a different element that's not, I guess, godly, for my lack of ignorance, maybe, whatever that may be for some people, but, listen to Kirk Franklin, you don't really hear those type of words sometimes, but, it's family issues. I prefer to have family issues to be private, and not publicly on platforms such as, the Shade Room and stuff like that. Yeah. But that was a very interesting moment. I thought I was reading something different, but no, it was reading exactly what it read like. And yeah, it was just crazy to me.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing Kirk Franklin in that type of light, right? He's always saying
exactly.
that.
So it was shocking. Not really shocking, but it was like being like on a public platform, really. But it's just family issues. That's how it goes. No one is exempt, and we already know Kirk Franklin is human. So I hope they resolve that soon.
Yeah. All he can do is just pray on it, do what he do. Do what he do. But you guys, man, my WTF moment of the week, you guys, man, it is crazy, man. It is so crazy. Coming out of the state of Washington, you guys, man. This guy, he stole a slide from a playground. Yes, he stole the slide from a playground. The slide weighed about 400 pounds, and he took the slide. How did he get the slide from the playground to, his house into his son's bedroom, which he mounted it up to his son's bedroom? He had like a bunk bed or whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, right?
Wow.
and the crazy thing about it is, with everything going on in the world right now, I don't know how safe or clean that slide is, but I mean,
yeah.
my man could have went to Walmart or order one on Amazon or something like that. But the joint weighed 400 pounds, so I'm guessing he had some type of help or whatnot. So, but long story short, the police got him. They got him by serving a warrant for thefts and robberies that he was already accumulating up and whatnot. So yeah, I guess the slide didn't last too long for the little boy, in his room.
Gesture. It just execution is a bit questionable, but it seemed like he's a good father. But his times are rough, so I get it. But sometimes, we're in a whole pandemic right now, and COVID just flying around. So I don't know about that one, but wow, I understand. Though. I get it.
Yeah, you're right. And I was looking at it on both sides. I mean, it's crazy, but he wanted to do something for his son.
By any means necessary. Yeah, when you're a parent, you don't really. You do whatever you can, and I give him that. I give him grace on that. But I hope that works out some type of way. I hope he, do what he have to do for his son, but in a legal way. So, yeah.
That was a WTF moment right there when I heard that one right there, you guys, man. So WTF moment. But you guys, man, we're going to move on here on the podcast. Like I was saying, you guys, of course, my guest here this week, Glenneisha. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. You were talking a little bit about your story and how, it left you, being quadriplegic and, for all four limbs and stuff like that for, whoever don't know and stuff.
Right.
But you have taken on this. Did you do this before the accident, or how did?
No, I taught myself in 2013 or 15. I still have trouble figuring that out. My nurse told me 2013, but I'm thinking it's 2013. I don't know, but I watched some YouTube videos, figure out what else can I do, because I had just published a book, so I got all that anger out, I guess, the bitterness and whatnot, because it was fresh. 2010, I was trying to figure out how to navigate through life as a newly disabled individual. So going from walking one day and then this dramatically happened to you, you don't know what to do. So I wrote about it like a diary form, something similar to Anne Frank. Love her book. And from then I was like, okay, what can I do? So I saw this guy on YouTube painting. I think he was an amputee, if I'm not mistaken, or he didn't have no arms, I believe. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I just kept practicing. I started off with characters. I'm a 90s baby. So I did like Hey Arnold, stuff like that. Rugrats, Proud Family, just to get the feel of how to use shapes, angles, colors, how they work. Pretty much how to be, independent in a way. So I wanted to execute that. And once I found that it was therapeutic for me, I wanted to keep going. So I just been going from since 2000, again, 13 or 15. I think it's 13, but maybe it's 15. I'm unsure, like I said, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been painting, and I haven't stopped since. I really love to do it.
That's what's up. That's really, really cool. How long did it take you, to get over the anger and stuff? How did you, mostly deal with that, besides painting?
It took me a while to control it. So I still have my moments, but I know how to control it. Whereas before it was just sporadic. It was everywhere, very moody, very not understanding what to do. That part I don't like me as a person. I'm not, I guess I don't work well with knowing how to, not knowing. I don't like that. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what can I do. And I didn't know that at the time. My mind was already clouded with things like negative, a lot of negative thoughts that I'm not going to get into, but it was there. And like I said, it wasn't easy, but it took a while. After I did that book, after I graduated, accomplished all these things, like I said, I had my moments, but I learned how to control it. And I think that took me a very long way, and it allowed me to not rewrite, but make a better future for myself.
Okay, that's cool. In the moment and everything, what got you to painting? Was it more so like you just wanted to get into stuff and find something to do?
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to feel more like I had my own autonomy, because I felt like I had no control anymore, since my body control. I don't have that right now. So I needed something to feel like I can accomplish something without feeling like a burden to people, feel like a distraction, or I guess, I don't know, like just, I didn't want to keep depending on people for certain things. So I wanted to find a lane where I can accomplish something independently and feel good about it. So me going to school, me writing a book, I want to do that because, again, I wanted that control, some type of control in my life. And from then, I had to do it. By any means necessary for me.
You're right. You said you didn't want to feel like a burden. Why would you, think you would feel like a burden?
When you come from, like I said, you come from walking, and then I walk again, you have to depend on a lot of people. And this is fairly new to everyone I've come across to. So it's like, even though they might not say it or feel that way, I learned that some people like myself, in the community, disabled community, we feel like we feel bad sometimes. We feel guilty for, I guess, being in a position where we have to depend on people and they have to pretty much work their lives around ours. So it's, like I said, it's something that I go through in my mind. No one else has to say it or feel it, but we go through that. It's something like survivor's guilt, I guess, but it's something like that. But that's just something that, you work through as a disabled person, because you got your parents caring for you. But, sometimes you think, okay, this would have been different if you did this differently or something like that. So it's like, those type of thoughts.
Yeah. Were you you was very independent before everything?
Extremely. I was only child. Now I had a little brother at 6. Well, not me, but my mom had a baby when I was 16. So I was my only child. I was the only child since for 16 years, basically. And I've learned to like being alone. Of course, my brother came. I love that too. But I'm saying, like, to be older, you know what I mean? Like to have to be in a situation where I'm not too close with a little guy like that. Like, that's my brother, but he's smaller than me, so I'm still independent. But I don't have like that person, like, how can I say this? Like, basically in the same age range. You know what I mean? So you're still kind of the only child in that sense. But yeah, I've been only child since I was 16. And,
Okay. I understand it. I'm in a wheelchair, so certain things you deal with. I was born with a disability, called Charcot-Marie Tooth syndrome, and it affects your muscles in your legs and your feet. And I was walking all the way up until like the age of like 12. I want to say 12, 13. And of course I walked a certain way, and I could have moved my my hands, my fingers, and now I can't move my fingers. So as I got older, my disability changed. And of course, I talked about this in my upcoming documentary, just dealing with that, at a young age or at a teenager, with everything going on, with your body and just in the world general, you're just trying to figure it out and,
Exactly.
you want to be in control, so I feel you, you can't let nothing stop you, and God isn't through with you yet, so.
Exactly.
Hey,
I believe that.
Yeah. What keeps you pushing every day to stay motivated?
Just knowing that I had that opportunity to, better my life. Cause I was not honest. I don't want to get dark with it, but the accident could have took me out, so to have that second chance, to do it again, to try again and to do better at it, that pushes me, that helps me to keep going and to remember that, life is, it's not short, but it's also not long either. We have to appreciate every moment and, living my younger years, I was just living carelessly. So now I'm enjoying life, but also being smart about it, being mature about it. And, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I understand it, because life is crazy. You could be, we grow and we learn as we grow, so.
Right.
We're going to move on here, you guys, man, here on the 1130 podcast. A movie came out this past week. You say you were in the film and stuff. Did you see the new Coming to America?
Nah.
No,
I didn't. Nah.
Yeah, I haven't either, though. I thought I asked, though. I had a lot of people talking about it. Did you even see the first one?
Here's a funny story. Every time I try to watch it, it doesn't grab my attention, unfortunately. So I don't know. I've seen stuff here and there, but
Hey,
I don't know.
I'm with you. I ain't really seen it. And so I just thought I asked, because a lot of people was like, man, I don't even know why they would make a sequel, though. That's what Hollywood
Now
does.
that I know that's a classic, Coming to America. So to make a sequel, that wasn't necessary. You're like, I know that they were trying to jam pack it with so many celebrities and influencers. It just takes the authenticity out of it. So that's the one thing I've seen, but that's one thing I know for sure. We have Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. That made that a classic. When you're trying to fill it with all these other celebrities trying to fit it in there, it's not going to work. That's how I feel about it. But that's what I saw from the clip.
Yeah,
too many celebrities in there.
You're right. Another, I feel as though also because of the pandemic and stuff and Netflix, everything, people, at home watching stuff. So they just like, what? Hey, we could do this and they could, grow and make some money because why everybody is at home and everybody got HBO Max, Disney Plus, this, that, and all that. So, everything don't need to be a sequel, though. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing I want to get your opinion on, though, which is crazy, though. Question is, why people find coughing on people cool? And the reason why I say that is I seen the video over the past week where the three ladies were in the back of an Uber or a Lyft or whatever. Yeah. And they were disputing with the driver or whatnot. I don't know really what was going on, but they called on the guy, and I'm like, in my opinion, I'm assuming that she was made or had coronavirus if, she attempted to, cough on the driver or whatnot. But even before, all of this bullcrap that's going on, we as human beings know that, we sneeze or we cough, we always cover our mouth. And I want to know, just maybe your thoughts on why you got these people out here. I know we all don't have the answers to everything, but, why certain, ignorant people, just think it's cool to cough on people.
I mean, I can't tell you as to why, but I mean, we're in a pandemic and it's been a while since we've been out. People are just acting out for moments. I believe for clout type thing. Like I said, I don't know why. I haven't been out in public spaces since last year. So I don't play that. And I'm in a situation where I can't afford, to be sick in any way. So I try to keep my distance, but like I said, I don't know why. I think it's very, very ignorant though. Extreme. Like it's for what reason? Like what's the reason for it? I don't understand.
That's crazy though. That's crazy. They won't be getting no lift nowhere else. So
but they opened up another case. I think they were doing fraud or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it opened up some more cases against them. So that most ignorant act put you in a jam now. Now you really have to face some charges for other stuff. So that's on you. Maybe, like I said, I don't know why, but when they do that, it just shows who they are, and it comes back to them very quick. Yeah, that karma. So
exactly.
At least they're exposing themselves and weeding themselves out, because that's just ignorant, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna move on from that ignorance here on the 1130 podcast. But you guys, man, like I said, we're gonna move on. And a returning segment here on the podcast, you guys, questions by April. Yes, you guys. Questions. April sent these questions. Glenny, and I got some questions for you if you don't mind answering. Okay, cool. We're gonna start it off. First, what inspired you to do mouth painting?
I'm a very creative person, like in how I dress, and I like to express myself in different ways. So when I learned how to paint with my mouth, I found that it keeps me sane. It helps me to feel independent. It helps me to maintain my autonomy, and I feel good about it. I feel good when I paint. I like doing things that make me feel good. I like dressing ways that make me feel good and comfortable. So that's what inspires me.
Okay.
Like just feeling good, just wanting to feel good.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, dressing, I can tell from your social media, you fly. You fly, so you be killing.
I'm trying.
That's what's up. What has to be the hardest part about mouth painting?
Breathing and painting at the same time is very hard. I wouldn't say it's hard. You're doing it, unknowingly too. But when you're trying to be very meticulous with a certain image and be very detail oriented and keep the line straight, it's very hard to do. So when you're trying to control your neck and your breathing, so that's very hard. I mean, I learned to do it, but sometimes when you're trying to do it, like pay attention to the line, you catch yourself trying to like not breathe so hard or breathe too much to get that line right. So that's very hard.
Okay. Have you ever considered having a sip and paint class on mouth painting?
I have. But this whole pandemic, I would love to do something virtual, but I don't know about that either. I'm very introverted. I'm not really into doing stuff with like a large group of people. I can do it with an intimate setting, but I'm a very nervous person, very shy. So I gotta get over that. But I would definitely love to do one as soon as the pandemic is lifted, COVID is controlled.
Okay, cool. Is it ever tiring to complete a painting with your mouth?
Yes and no. Yes, because you want to. So with portrait painting, you gotta get. For me, I like everything to be extremely nice, but also free. So it's tiring in a good way because I want to express whatever I can, do whatever I see, how I see it, from the background to the way certain movements of my paintbrush go. I like that. But it is tiring because I have to stretch my neck a certain way or move it a certain way. Or when I'm trying to fill in a large shape or space, it hurts a little bit, because I'm doing too much in my neck. I'm overexerting it. So that gets tiring, but in a good way though. I like that feeling, but the consequences, it comes later that night, whereas, you get aches and pains, but I get massages and whatnot.
Okay. It seems like it's worth it though. It seems like
it is worth it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love it so much, but it's without pain, you're not gonna really get a gym. You need some pain in there somewhere.
That's what's up. How long does the process take?
So usually I start around 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm usually done by maybe 1, maybe 2, but it all depends on the piece, what ideas come to mind, and what else I want to add to it. But it usually takes me like an hour and a half or 2.
Okay. Which painting has to be your favorite one?
Oh man, our favorite one. So it has to be between the Malcolm X and the one recently I did now. Matter of fact, I like your hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Don Vito. I did that one from The Godfather because I love The Godfather. I love Scarface. I love all that in mob movies. So between Malcolm X and Don Vito, I think those are my favorite. Being that Malcolm X one, I did him like 3 times, but that one was the most, it was the most expressive for me and the most detailed for me.
Okay.
As opposed to the other ones. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Did you draw the guy who was Black Panther?
Fred Hampton. I did not. I was going to. It's very difficult for me to try to paint in different where references are at different angles. So for him, he's not really straight ahead, or he's more at an angle for some pictures. Mm-hmm. So like I really want to do that iconic photo of him, but it's very difficult for me to like try to turn my neck a certain way or be very careful with how I do certain features of his, because I could do it one way, but it looks totally different when I, after I look back at it. So I'm trying to though.
Okay.
To accomplish different angles.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Take your time with it, because I see some dope ones that are Tupac. Did you do that J. Cole?
I did that one digitally. I did that one on my iPad. That was when I had my nursing aide went on vacation, so I couldn't really paint with oil and paint as like I used to. So I want to teach myself something digitally. That one's also hard because I'm in my mouth right now as a stylist. So that's how I communicate and translate, or text and whatnot. I do papers, all that good stuff to my stylist. It's a bit bigger than the iPad pencil. So that's why it can be a bit difficult to make it, to see if the line is very neat, to see if it's straight, because my style is a bit big. It's like a straw.
Okay. What advice can you give to those who are interested in trying?
Don't give up on it. Trust the process. As cliche as that may sound, you gotta trust the process, because I never thought to see myself as someone that could do facial features on paintings. I was always a person that just did the shapes, the figures, silhouette in a way. But when my one of my good friends was encouraging me to do the facial features and try it, I didn't give up on it, and here I am. It opened up so many doors for me, and I'm just happy that I was able to conquer that fear by not giving up.
Yeah, can't give up. You can't give up. A lot of people try to skip the process and not realizing that the process is what makes you, and it's a part of your story and everything.
Right.
Got to keep pushing. Are your paintings for sale?
They are. Well, the thing is, that's on there right now. Some of them are already sold, but the most recent ones I did, they're pretty much out for sale. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. If anybody, asked you to make someone,
For commissions, right now I'm not really doing that right now, because I want to be able to, try some stuff that I wanted to get on paper for a while. I love fan art. It has gotten me, like I said, it's opened a lot of doors for me, but I also want to try some original stuff that I could, try to play with and experiment. So I'm trying to be careful with that, tread lightly with that one.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. April, appreciate the questions. Glenn, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast this week and answering the questions. Before you go, so for everybody, man, who's listening and want to check out your paintings and everything, can you drop your social media?
My Instagram is by Glenneisha, BYGLENNEISHA. And my website is gdarkins.art. I have wearable art on there. Some stuff is sold out. I'm so thankful for that. But try to get what you can, and if you like it, great. Share it with your friends and family. Definitely appreciate the support, regardless of whatever you do. Thank you so much. And just hit me up on those.
Okay, I will most definitely will and check out some more because I really, really dig them. Before you go, any shout outs, anything you would like to say, any questions for me?
Okay. Top five rappers. Who are your top 5 rappers?
Top 5.
Of all time.
Of all time?
Yep.
All time. Well, my favorite one, Ludacris.
Okay.
Lil Wayne, Drake. The last two, I'm gonna say something current because
Of course.
Anything. J. Cole, Kevin Gates.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know the Ludacris is what was. I like him too. He's very animated. I like his raps though. He's good.
Yeah.
But what made you put him number 1?
Yeah, because he was like my first favorite, rapper, when I was growing up. So I was like, the other ones I'm pretty sure, are better than Ludacris, but he always stuck out, and that was like my guy.
Okay. Are you from Atlanta?
No, from Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like the list. I like it.
Man, thank you. Any shout outs and anything else you'd like to say?
No, just shout out to everybody that's trying, that's still waking up every day and keep it going, keep the party going regardless of what's going on. Shout out to y'all, shout out to the parents, shout out to those who are disabled as well. We're not limited anyway. We're good. We're gonna keep it going and stay great. And just shout out to everybody that's listening and everyone that supports you. Thank you for having me. And it's all love.
Yeah, all love. Once again, Glenn, I appreciate you joining me here this week on the 1130 podcast. You're welcome anytime. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I will be checking out more of your paintings. And thank you once again for joining me on this podcast.
All righty. Thank you.
Yo, Glenneisha, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast this week, man. It was an awesome time chatting with you. Very motivational, very inspiring. Keep doing your thing. You just never know what life takes you, man. You never know. This interview in a way reminds me of when I had Eric Patrick Thomas on. You just never know. And then, it's like your second coming, your second beginning, and just getting a new start. A life, and just live it the fullest you can and to the best, man. So Glenneisha, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast. For everybody, man, go check out her paintings, man, for real. They some dope paintings, for real, man. Go check it out. Go check it out. This was an awesome time. But you guys, man, don't go nowhere. You're listening to the 1130 podcast. For everybody who's listening on EB Radio and everybody who's watching, man, I appreciate you guys so much. We're going to take a quick short break. And when we come back, you guys, I got my guy, Alex Townsend. He's going to be here on the 1130 podcast to chopping it up with me. It's going to be great, man. So don't go nowhere, you guys. We'll be right back here on the 1130 podcast. You dig?
Everyone has something to say, a story to tell. We make it easy to share yours. So let's talk.
Regardless of your podcast setup, hit record. And from there, whether your podcast reaches 10 people or 10 million, we can help you get heard wherever listeners are.
And who knows, maybe even quit your day job.
But no matter who hears you, it's about connecting. and sharing something from your perspective.
It's about having a voice and using it without anything standing in your way. Say it all with Anchor.
Hey guys, welcome back here to the 1130 podcast. Appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout the break, you guys. I just want to say, Glenneisha, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast. But you guys, like I was saying throughout the show, I had my guy Alex Townsend here on the 1130 podcast. You guys, he's going to be joining me from Fort Myers, Florida, you guys. He's a podcaster. He's the host of the Aspie Files, you guys. He's a staff member at NBC2, you guys. And he's about to, add some new camera duty. So we're going to get into all of that, you guys. We're gonna have fun here on the 1130 podcast with my guy Alex. But we're gonna get into all of it. Alex, how's it going, bro?
I'm very well, DeAndre. It's good to be with you. It's only my second time being a guest on a podcast.
Well, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great, man. This is gonna be great. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm happy to have a day off. I love my job in TV production, but it's so nice to have a day off, and it's so nice to be to be here with you and all of your friends, and hopefully they'll listen to this podcast after they hear yours, of course.
Of course, man. Of course. How's life treating you, though?
It's been a challenge the past year because of COVID, but the weird thing is I didn't go through the same struggles that a lot of people probably did, because right before COVID happened, I got engaged to my fiance Jennifer, who I told you a little bit about. I sometimes say my wife, but we are not officially married yet, but we live together. We have a dog together, all that stuff. We got engaged actually right after Super Bowl Sunday 2020.
Oh, okay. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was really, really cool.
It was really cool. We were planning to see each other that day, but her mom got sick and we didn't get a chance to do so. And then the following night, she came over right before I was about to go see a band that was performing at a club that was conveniently a walking distance from my apartment at the time. There was a duo that I know very well, and they do like 70s, 80s music, mostly some 60s music, some stuff that my father raised me on. He was a baby boomer, so he was raised on doo-wop, Motown, the Beach Boys. He saw the Temptations in concert in 1967. So the guys do like that kind of music. I was gonna go see them, and right before I was about to walk out the door, she came in and she gave me a big hug, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. And I knew at that point, because I loved her that much, it was now or never. And I got down on one knee and asked Jennifer to marry me.
Hey man, that's what's up. That's what it's all about, especially in times like this. We need some uplifting times, and I'm glad you did that, so congratulations to you, man, and you. But we're gonna get into everything here on the 1130 podcast. Once again, Alex, man, I appreciate you joining me here. For my viewers and listeners not familiar with you mind introducing yourself, tell them something about you?
So I am a 30-something with high-functioning autism, also known as Asperger syndrome. I was diagnosed in 2002 when I was in the 8th grade. I'm originally from Maryland and Delaware, born in Maryland, raised in Delaware. But I went to school in Delaware, close friends in Delaware. Some of them I still talk to this day. Some of them I've known for, 20, these friends I've known 20 years. 20 years, 25 years in some cases. But I was diagnosed with Asperger syndrome in 2002. That diagnosis was a blessing in disguise, because I got diagnosed right before high school. I always knew growing up that something was unique about me. I'm not going to say wrong about me, but I knew something was definitely unique. I didn't know what it was, but I felt like I was living in two different worlds, DeAndre. I was in the special ed world where I felt like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Mm-hmm. I was the cool kid. I was the one that everyone wanted to hang out with. But in the mainstream world, where there was 25, 30 kids in a classroom, I felt like Screech. Mm-hmm. Without the curly hair, but I definitely had his oddball personality. I felt that way. I felt like a nerd and a bit of an outsider. I still feel that way sometimes. But my diagnosis was a blessing in disguise. So I broke into my parents' files and I found out what Asperger's was. And then after I found out what Asperger's was, I saw the name and I went on Google and found out what it was. And basically it is high functioning autism, and it causes difficulty interacting in social gatherings, not understanding irony or sarcasm, unable to grasp social concepts at times. Hypersensitivity. I am extremely sensitive to all 5 of my senses, especially to touch, taste, and smell.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. What made you, break into to the files to try to figure out what was going on?
Knowing that I was going to go to high school, and I'd made a promise to myself the year before. When I was about 13, I said to myself, I'm going to go to high school next year. But I saw a lot of my friends that were finishing high school. They didn't finish high school, DeAndre, until they were 21. And some of them didn't even go to college. I think out of everyone in that group I knew of, 1 or 2 of them went to college. And I went, I don't want to be in the group that doesn't go to college. My mom went for a short time. She sold furniture and clothing for years. My dad went to college but never finished. And my father was the one that basically said, look, you got to finish college. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to finish college on time. I'm going to finish high school on time first. I've got to finish at 18. And then if college takes a little bit longer, that's fine. And it did. I finished college at 25 because I went to college in Delaware for 2 years. And I came here, took a year off, and then went to 2 different schools to finish my degrees. And it was my bachelor's was in communications. And that's how I got into the TV production business. Was my senior year of college. I worked at a public television station.
Okay. Was it more so for yourself, more so just trying to prove more so to yourself that you can finish school and that you can, be just like everybody else?
Yeah, I wanted to be like everybody else. By the time I got to college, I already knew I was there.
Okay.
Because I looked around me and I realized the kids that gave me a hard time and threw trash in my face and that picked on me, some of them picked on me because I was white, as hard as it is to believe that did happen to me, unfortunately. And bullying of any kind is wrong. If you hear anyone say that bullying is good, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's wrong.
It's not. Chris Rock, I love you. I saw your last special Tambourine and you were funny as you always are, but you're wrong on that one, dude. I'm sorry. He's one of my favorite comedians. I hope he does this podcast in time, but in any event, no. So yeah, the original question is, yeah, I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to get into either TV or radio. And first it was radio. I worked at a college radio station when I was a freshman. And they let the people in the radio production class put on their own radio show once a week for 1 hour. And I had to write a news story and I had to read other news stories. I had to come up with bits. I used to do impressions of Donald Trump and Simon Cowell on the show. That was a lot of fun. And I used to play records. One was some were by a band called Jimmy Eat World, which I've been rediscovering. They're a really, really wonderful band from Arizona, if you've never heard of them. But yeah, the TV production thing, I tried at 19 after the radio thing. I tried that and it was fun, but then I tried TV and I went, I want to go in one of these directions, but I'm not 100% sure which one exactly. And then, fast forward to moving here and finishing my associate's degree and then going to at Florida Southwestern and then going to Florida Gulf Coast University. I discovered the TV station there, tried that, loved it. And the first thing I said was, I like this, but can I make a living doing this? Can I at least get to a point where I can pay all of my bills, have some groceries, and maybe have a little fun on the weekend with some friends and maybe go see some concerts or 2.
Okay. Hey man, that's what's up. And you talk about how you're loving it and you're into it. And you talk about the news that you're going to be on camera duty though. Tell me about that.
So I'm what's called a news technician. The other term would be production assistant, but they've changed the term so many times in business, it's hard to keep up with it, DeAndre. But I really like the term news technician. It's a little, it sounds more professional if you think about it. Yeah. Okay. So at the moment, I am an audio operator and a prompter operator. So at any given day, I run the audio board or I run the teleprompter. But yes, I've slowly begun the training to become a camera op. We're slowly trying to get into that. We just hired 2 people where I work. So
have you been on?
Yeah, and they're great. They're great guys, by the way. The production crew I work with, they're really good people for the most part. We all working together 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. It's fun and it's exciting. And luckily we we all find a way to work well together, thankfully, even through challenging days, through breaking news, hurricanes, election coverage, wall-to-wall coverage of any kind of news. So camera op, basically, we have robotic cameras, and whoever's the camera op turns on studio camera, lights, monitors, all that stuff. And then when you get to the show, you're the one telling the anchors where they're going to go, what camera they're going to be on, how many minutes to the show starting. If you're in a package, okay, this package is 1:30. We're going to come back to so-and-so. You're going to be on this shot. Oh, take a step to your left, please. Right there. There you go. I did this at another station I worked at before, Fox affiliate, Fox 4 in Fort Myers. I was there for 4 years and a month.
That's what's up, man. I can tell you love it. So have you worked on camera duty before, or with this?
When I was at Fox, that was the first. When I was at Fox, first 18 months I was in the business. My anniversary in the business is August 2015. And so when I started, and that was at Fox 4, August 2015, I started on cameras. I was a camera op, and we had manual cameras there, which was it was fun learning the process of it. The hard part was setting the weather shot, and especially if an anchor came in during the C block of a newscast, during the commercial break, weather meteorologists had to come back and we had to reset the shot. If I could see the shot in preview, it was no problem. When I couldn't see the shot, it was really weird. When we got robotic cameras, it became a lot easier because somebody else is driving the cameras. And I had the opportunity to do that as well when I was at Fox. But obviously, when you go to a different station, the protocol changes a little bit. You have to learn a different way of doing things, and that's okay. When I moved to NBC, and it's ABC is in the same building as well. When I moved there, I said to myself, okay, it's going to be a little different, and it has been, but it's been great. And luckily, I knew the basics of it, and I think that's really important to know. It's like when you get to college and you get an F on a term paper. And you wonder what happened, your professor is more likely going to tell you, look, you're really smart, but you're in college. You need to know the basics. We don't have time to teach them to you. Luckily, in our business, they teach us the basics when you're first starting out. But when you get to another station, it really helps to know the fundamentals. It really does.
That's what's up, man. That's really, really cool. The station, man, they did a short story on you. You shared with me, which was really, really awesome, man. And they talk about, you living with Asperger's, and also they also share the light and shine a light on your awesome podcast called the Aspie Files. Can you tell my listeners and viewers about your podcast, man?
I would love to. So I've always been a bit of a podcast fanatic. I've listened to Alec Baldwin's podcast, Here's the Thing, Chris Hardwick's ID10T, which is absolutely fantastic. Joe Rogan, who's one of the goddaddies of this, of the profession of what we do. I've slowly been getting into Adam Carolla's podcast because the thing I noticed with Adam, Joe, and Chris is they get the cool kids to come to their party. They really, really do. And I went, that's a fun place to be. And I also listen to Greg Proops from Whose Lines Anyway, his podcast, where he's basically rat-a-tat-tat on different subjects, whether it's classic movies or jazz or classic rock or current events, social justice issues that are going on in the world. So I saw that. I was always interested in this new wave of what I've called independent media. Yeah. In all of us getting our voices out there without having to deal with gatekeepers, per se. Right. And at NBC2 and ABC7, what we do is a lot of times we do what's called a mock show. And on a mock show, we I'll lose my train of thought here. We do a mock show to prepare us for the real show. So we all will get in place. They'll two of the news technicians be the anchors, and then one person's going to do audio, one person's going to do cameras, one person's going to run the teleprompter, one person's going to be the director, one's going to be the technical director, the TD, and that's the person pushing the buttons. And one person's going to be Chiron, which is also known as graphics, which I've also said, by the way, the Chiron's I think is the toughest part of the chain. Because you have to decide what graphics is going to go in. Is it spelled right? Do we fly this super? Do we take it out? How long does the super stay in? Are we going to take it out? When do we have to take it out? Things like that. It's a timing thing, always. But the mock shows prepare us for the real shows. And I got a chance to be a mock anchor back in September. And it was a lot of fun. And I thought to myself, man, this is fun. This was a lot of fun. And I talked to my friend Peter Bush, who is the co-anchor of the 5, the 6, and the 11 on NBC2, and he said to me, "Alex, you're funny all the time, and you love to talk. You should start your own podcast." And I didn't know how to go about it at first. And then another friend of mine who's a producer at Cheddar, who also worked with me at Fox 4, she said to me, "Well, I think you should do a podcast as well." So I looked around to where I could start a podcast where it wouldn't cost me any money. And so I went to a place called Anchor, and you can start a podcast there for free. And also you can use Anchor as your distributor, so you can make a little bit of money in the beginning while you're looking for other sponsors, which is really great. So I just started it. I kind of wrote down a little bit of what I wanted to talk about. Jennifer was in the first episode with me, and she was in a bunch of episodes in the first season. And from the very first episode, DeAndre, I did it. I went, okay, this is fun. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And luckily, there have been a slew of topics for me to talk about out there, not just Asperger syndrome. I never wanted to just be that one-dimensional podcast. I want to talk about a million different things, the way that Greg does on his podcast, Smartest Man in the World, which always makes me laugh and always makes me think.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You got to be that type of, well, at least I know I wanted to be, because when I started the podcast, like you said about Anchor, I didn't learn about Anchor, until afterwards. So I went straight, with YouTube. So YouTube was the first thing that came to my mind. And so, but, when you start a podcast, man, you got to go after it and everything. You in Florida right now, and you talk about everything. And that's how I wanted to be, because I was just talking mainly about wrestling. So I just said I wanted to talk about everything, we get my little opinion on what's going on. But you're in Florida right now, and everybody always has their opinion on Florida. It's like a different part of the world, though. But you guys are, seems like the COVID restrictions are, lighten up and lighten there, and everything is going on in Florida as far as basketball and everything. So how you feel about it?
Well, I didn't vote for Governor DeSantis, full disclosure. But I will also say this, that, as far as COVID restrictions, and I said this on the last episode that we did, because the governors of Texas and Mississippi have rescinded their restrictions. And here's what I'll just say about that. Any governor that rescinds this, they're not doing a service to our country. They're really not. They're not doing a service for their people. They're not standing up for the people that they say they're wanting to protect. They're giving the feeling and illusion of freedom. George Carlin talked about that in a lot of his stand-up, the older he got. George Carlin's my favorite stand-up comedian of all time. And I love when he talked about like the feeling and illusion of safety and freedom. My view has always been this, listen to the science. Don't listen to pandering politicians that don't care about you. It's always, when you're out in public, wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance. If you are sick, stay home from work. I am very fortunate. I have not gotten sick from this to the point where I had to stay home from work. Jennifer is a LPN. She didn't get sick, thankfully. And, but we've all been doing our part. We've all had to do that. We've all had to act like a community. I've said because of this, because of COVID, that it has forced us to stop being selfish. I've never understood phrases like freedom to be stupid, freedom to be selfish. No, we're a lot bigger than that as a society. And if we can just make the choice of we as opposed to we're a lot better off. I don't understand what is so horrible about wearing a mask. What I tried to do with it was I tried to find masks that were great to wear and that matched what I was feeling. I've got one mask that looks like the Rolling Stones symbol.
Yeah. That will make it, that's what make it more cooler to wear it. That's what a lot of people, a lot of people don't want to wear it. It's like, like, especially like the little surgical ones, like the doctor ones, Yeah, because people always like, I don't know, match with this or whatnot. Man, come on, you're trying to be safe. So, but it makes it much easier when you can, design it or, have a special one. We're going to move on here on the podcast, you guys. Throughout, man, living with Asperger's and stuff, man, and you have your awesome podcast. What keeps you going and keeps you inspired?
My fiance inspires me every day. I talk to people in Facebook support groups about Asperger's. I talked to a gentleman the other day. he told me he recently had his first real kiss at the age of 25. And I went, dude, I didn't have mine until I was 22, man. That's so we talked a little bit about that and how I think if you're just grateful for the things that you have in your life, if you count like little blessings in your life, things that you're able to do, you know, especially here in America that you wouldn't be able to do in other countries. Like, I'm very well aware that if I did this podcast in other parts of the world, I'd probably be in big trouble. Whereas in this country, you and I are free to do a show and talk about things that we're very passionate about. So that inspires me when I hear stories about other people with, you know, on the spectrum who are trying to pursue the things that they love, whether it's in sports, whether it's in music, whether it is finding that little thing that they're passionate about. The thing about people with Asperger's is we're passionate about the things that we're very passionate about. My passions happen to be about pop culture and current events. I mean, music, I collect music. I've been to a boatload of concerts since I moved here. 2019, I went to 10 different concerts, and that's one thing I like doing is finding the things that I like doing when I'm not working. Like, I love my career, but I don't want it to be the only thing that I do in my life. I like finding little passions like that, whether it's going to the movies with Jen or whether it is, you know, listening to a CD that I just bought that I really like. I still collect CDs even in the age of streaming music because they're like baseball cards or issues of National Geographic or Playboy. They're just they're gonna be investments one day, which is really good. So yeah, I think it is pursuing the things that you love to do, and also reaching a point where you're like, I'm not going to defend liking this anymore. I know why I like this. I don't see why I have to defend it. Have you ever had to defend a band, liking a band that other people just don't get?
No, not necessarily. But I got you. But I had to defend something that other people don't like. Yeah.
I've had to defend liking Nickelback and Daughtry for years, and I still love their music. I've seen Daughtry twice in concert. First time when I was 19, the second time was right before I turned 30. Nickelback, I think, are a terrific band. A friend of mine and I, we were fans of them. I heard them do a metal version of The Devil Went Down in Georgia by Charlie Daniels, and the metal version would just blow you away. I just thought to myself, why are people hating on these guys? Like, they just did something that I don't know many bands would be able to even take on. That's a tough song to take on, DeAndre. It really is. I would be nervous to take it on. One, because it's way too many words, and I don't play the fiddle. Or the electric guitar, which
you're right. Just like my guest asked me early on in the show, and you say you're a big fan of music, you collect music. Who's your top 5 favorite artists of all time?
Oh wow.
And also before you start, I love Daughtry and Nickelback also. So I don't know why loves them. So, but yeah, go ahead.
You know what? The thing about rock and roll is there's more than one kind of it.
I know exactly.
Top 5? Oh wow. Let's see. The Beatles would be number 1 for sure. The Beatles would be number 1. Elvis Presley. My grandmother raised me on him. I think he's terrific. The Beatles, Elvis Presley, Garth Brooks. Billy Joel, Elton John.
Okay. Hey, that's a nice top 5 right there. I like it. I really dig it. Another thing I learned about you, man, you're a big fan of game shows, correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, you love Jeopardy because my best friend, man, I never got into it though, but I was just so amazed how he knew the questions just like that, you know. So, but yeah, Jeopardy is awesome though. But you down to play a game here on the 1130 podcast?
Absolutely. By the way, the new guest hosts are all doing a fabulous job. No one's done a terrible job. I don't know who's going to get that gig, but all I can say is remember, you are the host, not the star. Let the contestants be the stars. But yeah, let's play the game, DeAndre. All
right, we're gonna play a game of Would You Rather with my man Alex here. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Would you rather eat a live worm or be locked in a room with a tarantula for an hour, but no one knows what the tarantula is?
Locked in a room with a tarantula. The worm thing, that reminds me way too much of Survivor and Fear Factor. Sorry, Rogan, I love you, man, but
Hey, speaking of Survivor, man, I just got into that show. Are you into it?
No, but I actually like Jeff Probst, and he used to host a game show on VH1 called Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
Okay, yeah.
And I used to watch that at my grandmother's house all the time. So I'm more of a fan of traditional game shows like that. They once asked Bob Barker, what do you think of shows like Survivor and Fear Factor, where you can win a car or win money, but you have to swim through a tank of sharks? And he goes, I try not to think about those.
I like those type of shows. Them are really good. I like those. Would you rather wake up in the middle of a good dream every time and not be able to fall back to sleep, or never be able to wake yourself up from a nightmare?
Oof. The first one. It reminds me of a monologue that James Spader did on The Blacklist in the first season, where he talked about, why he doesn't have fears. And he talks about what he dreams of doing. And the first time I heard him say that, my first thought was, yeah, I want to do all those things too. And so, yeah, once you get a good dream, whether it's, seeing a great band that you haven't seen yet that you want to see, or you're on a tropical island with your girl, or you're rock climbing somewhere that you've never been before, but you're excited to do that when you actually get the opportunity to do it for real, you wake up. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go back to sleep after that. No, the dreamland is done after that.
Yeah, it is though. I mean, I've been in that situation. You want to fall right back to sleep. It never works though. Can't go right back to it though.
No.
Okay. Would you rather have nosy neighbors or noisy neighbors?
Oh wow, that's an Aspie trigger right there. I'd rather have noise. I'd rather have nosy neighbors. Because the thing about Asperger's is, I mentioned the senses earlier in the interview. Our ears are exactly the hypersensitive. They're just off the charts. So if we hear something that's too loud, like a motorcycle or an ambulance, or a loud siren, that's like torture to us.
Okay, that's not good. Well, okay. Would you rather use hot sauce for eye drops or sandpaper for toilet paper?
Wow, sandpaper for toilet paper. I've never used hot sauce in my life, actually.
You don't like hot sauce? No?
Never had it.
Oh, okay. Gotta try it, man. It's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. Would you rather leave your unemployed son homeless or pay for his drug habits and illegal activities?
Wow, that's a lot like Breaking Bad right there.
Yeah.
I don't have any children of my own, so that's a tough one. You know what though? My father was a great father, and he was there for 23 years. But tough love. Like, it's like, hey, you got to figure this out on your own. But once you clean yourself up, we'll reconnect again. Sometimes that's necessary.
You're right about that. Sometimes it's necessary, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You can't.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I never took any drugs in my life. I've been,
Yeah, that's what's up. Would you rather clog the toilet on a first date or first date at a new job?
The first date at a new job?
Yeah, would you rather clog the toilet on a first date or on the first date at a new job?
Oh, new job for sure. No, I've been on. I thankfully never had an awkward first date in my life. I think that one would indicate there's not going to be a second date. There wouldn't even be a midnight kiss. So. Okay.
Would you rather wake up in the morning looking like a giraffe or a kangaroo?
Gotta go with kangaroo because my man Rocco from Nickelodeon, he was a wallaby, and grew up loving him, and I loved the way he carried himself, even when he lost his cool. So
a kangaroo would be fun. Hop all over the place. You might get to where you're going pretty fast. Would you rather be able to create a new holiday or a new sport?
Create a new holiday. I don't even watch sports on television.
Okay. What holiday would you create?
A new holiday. I think I would create a holiday that would, how do I say this? The holiday I would create, honestly, would be Election Day. That should be a holiday. In other words, you don't go to school, don't go to work, vote, get your friends to go to work with you. And if you vote, you should get once you do your service, you get a card. You take it to any restaurant in wherever you are, show that to the person when you pay your bill, and you get a 20% discount.
That's interesting. If I had to create one, I'd say, of course, two of them. I would say Super Bowl Sunday, because of course everybody take off, and the day after WrestleMania. I'm a big wrestling fan, so of course, yeah.
I used to
Okay.
have Stacy Keibler, by the way.
Oh man, what? Yes, I did.
You do, so you know the. And yet, Clooney was the one that dated her for a while. So
Yeah.
Clooney, you inspire all of us to reach for the stars, man. So.
All right. Would you rather humans discover aliens or aliens introduce themselves to us?
Oh, I'd rather them introduce themselves to us. I think that interaction would be very surreal and very Twilight Zone-like.
Okay, cool. Would you rather fart out loud during a presentation or snort while laughing on a great first date?
Probably snort, and I say that because I think humor is a huge factor in any relationship. And the late George Burns even said this in an interview a few years before he died. One of my favorite comedians, George Burns, the guy with the cigar, and he once said, and he was married to his wife Gracie for 36 years. I think they were married, a long time, and they worked together in vaudeville, radio, television. But he said in an interview, he said, after you're married 25 years, you get in bed with your wife, you make her laugh, you've got something special there.
Yeah, man. Sense of humor is always, man. That's a key. You got to make somebody laugh, man. For real. Alex, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, man. This was a great time. Before you go, anything you'd like to say? Any questions? Any shout-outs?
Yeah, so the Aspie Files is on Spotify. It is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public. And I'm trying to work with iHeartRadio. Hopefully we can get it on there soon. I'm going to be sending them an application for that soon. It is one of the best podcasts that is out there. Our audience is growing every day. We've grown a lot since that news segment aired. We had 545 total listens before it. Now we're at almost 680. So we're an independent podcast, but we're growing in so many ways. And make sure you listen to DeAndre on the 1130 podcast. I think he is hilarious and a great interviewer, and he asks great questions. I love playing Would You Rather, and I hope I'll be invited back as a guest on anytime, my friend.
Anytime. I appreciate you coming here and joining me, man, and just having fun. Thank you so much, man. Stay safe, and thank you for joining me this week on the 1130 podcast.
Thank you for having me, DeAndre. It was a pleasure.
Yo, Alex, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast this week, man. Fun time chopping it up with you, man. Two guests, man, from Florida this week. So, shout out to Florida, man. Everybody in Florida, Miami, Orlando, Fort Myers, everybody in Florida, man. I appreciate it. Hope the weather is nice down in Florida. I ain't never been, so, hey, one day I will. But, this has been an awesome episode. Glenneisha, I appreciate you stopping past here early in the show. It was an awesome time, you guys, man. Go get the paint. Check her out, man. It was beautiful. Really, really is. And also, my man Alex, man, thank you once again, man. Keep pushing at it and being in the news staff and news production guy, man. Just keep killing it, man. I love it, man. But everybody, it's been a great episode. Really, really great episode. I thank you guys for joining me back here for another episode of the 1130 podcast. You guys, man, hope everybody staying safe out there, man. But before I go, you guys, y'all already know what it is, man. Follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 Podcast. Like the 1130 Podcast on Facebook. Subscribe. Yes, subscribe to the 1130 Podcast on YouTube. Yes, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. And also, you guys, the 1130 Podcast Talk Pro Wrestling, where I interview some of your favorite independent referees, wrestlers, ring announcers, you name it, man. All wrestling each and every Friday, available wherever you get your podcasts. And so follow me on Spotify and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rating and a review. I appreciate it so much. And if you're down and if you love the 1130 Podcast, you fuck with it, man. And if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130 Podcast at gmail.com. The 1130 Podcast at gmail.com. Man, what an episode. What an episode. Alex was dope. Glenneisha was awesome. This was awesome. Another Wednesday of the 1130 Podcast is in the books. Like I said, man, I'm stressing everybody. You know, we getting back to normal a little bit, but hey, keep your guard up. Keep wearing your mask, man. Like, man, Alex said, what's so hard about it? You know, get some stylish, man. Wear it out. Fly. Get fly with it or whatever. But, yo, man, stay safe. And the weather's looking nice. And everybody, man, just, hey, keep doing your thing, man. And stay prayed up. Yo, about to be on out of here, yo. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. I'll see you guys next week, and I'm out.